Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Anime Villainous's Tournament Arc 2026. We are back for the third game of this year's tournament, and we're going to be at the opposite side of the bracket this time around. We're going from the bottom right up to the top left, where it's going to be Docmcstuffins versus Dragonfly. Doc is a returning contestant from the top 8, I believe, last year. Yeah, he was top 8 last year. Dragonfly, I don't think was in the top 16 last year, or maybe he just made the top 16. I definitely remember he was in qualifiers at least. So, really looking forward to this game. Let's get right into it. Okay, and so here we go with Docmcstuffins versus Dragonfly. Finally, some competitors who just have the correct names on their Steam profile to match what they use on Discord. I think Soljar. No, did D. Gessner? Does D. Gessner's Steam name D. Gessner, or does he still have like Wings of Fire? I don't remember. Last time we had like Azur was Outlast 2 or whatever. But we're going to see Dragonfly is going to be the winner of the dice roll. So he will be our starting player. Holy cow, Butter, get them a little closer to each other. Why don't you? It's trying to make these draft decks like cuddle or something. What's with this guy? But Dragonfly is our starting player, so he is going to get to ban first. Doc is very well known for playing Ainz, so I wouldn't be surprised to see an Ainz. Oh, it's actually going to be a Diaboromon ban. Maybe he's going to let Doc play Ainz, which is Doc's go-to, and try and counter pick and the blind pick as a result. We're going to see a Sebastian ban. Ainz does not love going second. It can be all right for him if he lucks into having the extra power, can help him if he lucks into his teleport and his staff really early. It gives him a little extra power to play them out a bit quicker. But we're gonna see Crocodile into Crocodile like is not an Ainz counter either, so I'm very, very intrigued by this. I didn't know that Doc knew how to play and as I say that, it's entirely possible that Doc doesn't know how to play but he's picking her anyway, which would be the funniest outcome. But okay, Doc as and Dragonfly as Crocodile. It seems a little messed up that Doc isn't Croc, right? They both, like, end in OC. Their own characters, I guess. This is really interesting. As most Croc matchups go, it kind of depends on how quickly Croc can open Utopia. This is, I would say it's a little favored for Croc to be able to open Utopia pretty early because it's very easy to lock down Yuno's top fate early game. An immediate Sand Body, very interesting. Straight into Keigo and Dead End. Yeah, so Keigo will lock down that top fate for a good while. I was about to... I didn't even know what I was going to say if he played Keigo to Abandoned Hotel there. I would have gone crazy, but... You definitely want to lock down the top fate, like, early on here before... Wow, immediate all clear. That's hilarious. So an immediate -1 on Yuki, but also doesn't get access to the gain 1 discard, which you really want to have early as I think Butter is checking to make sure that was shuffled, because I think all clear is the top card when not shuffled, maybe. We're going to see Usopp and Nami here, but right shouldn't have been 2 of those. Should have just been Sandbody, so it's just going to be Usopp. So that is the card that Doc will be playing. Honestly, out of Usopp and Nami, probably Usopp is who you would have picked. Nami isn't that useful early. Covering up Yuba to get rid of that gain 1 discard, because Doc knows that he's not going to be able to get the top fate back for a while. So it's good to slow down Crocodile's discarding. You want to do that so that he can't cycle into his Utopias and allies quite as quickly, because Doc is going to need to buy some time before Utopia opens to try to get Keigo off the top fate via decoy trap, or start hitting him with, like, throwing Myrrh and the other person. Ooh, Merry Christmas straight into Hidden Blade. That's really good for Dragonfly, immediately clearing that up and getting an ally on board. We are going to see Explosion in C2, so Doc is getting that all clear out the gate. Pretty good for him. He also had Knife earlier. I missed the Knife play. So this is a pretty strong start. But again, it is really going to come down to... And Yukiteru Diary in the top 5 cards. With Knife, which is just, like, always in play, +1 strength. This is a pretty strong start. But again, if Crocodile can get to allies and get Utopia out quickly while has very little fate pressure... Oh, but there's the decoy trap as well to try and open up that top fate. My dog, Koji, has decided to join us for this game. He really wants my attention today for some reason. We're going to see a Baroque Works. Dragonfly is going to try and burn his way through getting to Utopia and those allies. He gets Scorpion Venom and Miss Valentine. Debating if he wants to keep Baroque Works or not, very briefly. Honestly, I probably would have ditched it there. We're going to see Reiki and Rejection. You probably put I was about to say you probably put Reiki at Yuno's house to make sure that that keeps locked down, even though Reiki is clashable. Keigo is likely going to end up losing some strength pretty quickly here. If he gets moved by Decoy Trap, he's guaranteed to lose one, I believe. Yeah, because they're both after triggers. A little bit of discarding from Dragonfly, and then that's that. We're going to see Abandoned Hotel, and that is where Yuki is going again. Wow, Doc has gotten all three of these back-to-back on Yuki. And then we're going to see the Decoy Trap go away and bring probably Keigo over. Could also bring Reiki over and punch him, but Keigo is the better option because Keigo will now lose 2 strength. Because Yuno and Yuki are both at his location. And also Keigo sitting at Abandoned Hotel. Very easy to weaken him down. This is a very strong Yuno start for Doc. And we're going to see a Protect You into Yuki Teru Diary. Don't search one. This dude out here doing the search one. I just pulled the card off the top and shift-alt it. Like a real man. That's right, Doc, I'm calling you out. Then we're going to see a Fate here, and it's going to be Dreamin', Don't Give It Up, Nami. Probably... I honestly might have put Nami at Rain Base knowing that Hidden Blade is in hand to just try and delay Utopia by needing more allies or needing a kill to force him to go over to Rain Base to get a kill at some point. Also, because now he can double play into double play, potentially if it works out, Dragonfly can get Utopia this next turn. This also was a very strong Protect You for Doc, assuming that Yuki isn't staying at Abandoned Hotel, which All Clear and the Abandoned Hotel player are already gone, actually, so I think it's impossible. Yuki is moving somewhere, as long as he doesn't move to Reiki, and it's going to be School, moving 1 to the left. So this is going to be 2 strength down on Yuki, no strength down on Keigo. This is a very, very strong Yuno game. Doc has had impeccable order thus far. Throwing down Mur over at Abandoned Hotel, that'll weaken Keigo down faster. Also, if Manene comes out to discard Mur, Manene will have to go to Mur. And we are going to see Doc get rid of Parent Skulls. With how fast this Yuki game is going on Strength Loss, he doesn't really have to worry too much about using traps. We're going to see an immediate Fate from Dragonfly here. Well, you definitely play Ian Marco. The question is what kind of movement you do. Honestly, I don't hate putting Keigo at School and then moving probably Reiki to Yuki's house and dropping... No, you don't want Reiki at Yuki's house. Sorry, you don't want to do that because Yuno already has the knife out, so that's an easy kill. Don't do that. You probably move Yuki to Yuki's house, to be honest. There are 3 more double moves. Sorry, tickled my throat. But there are more cards that will move Yuki to either School or Yuno's house than there are cards that will move him to Abandoned Hotel here. So we are going to see Reiki move to Yuno's house, which again, I don't think is a great idea because Yuki... There's only 1 card that keeps Yuki there to trigger Reiki's ability, and it's also just a gain 3 double play clash turn for Yuno. We are going to see the Hidden Blade played and then the clash into Nami. We are and he is going to pay to keep Hidden Blade in play. We are very set up for a Utopia here. It's very easy to get. It is going to be a move left. Keigo still loses 2 strength because Mur and Yuno are both here. No power, so it's going to be a trick reversal. Good play. Good scheme to get out there right now. There's a Protect You and Parent Skulls even in the discard. Yeah, you definitely take Sanji over Vivi here because the Duck is still in play. Now here, honestly, I do understand what Doc is doing. Now there have to be 2 allies here. I still feel like I might have dropped Sanji at Alubarna and moved Merry Christmas away. Or even put him at Rain Base and moved Valentine all the way over to the right wouldn't have been too bad. But again, covering that gain 1 and discard at this location is not bad by any means. There's that other Baroque Works from earlier. What are we going to get here? Ooh. Mr. 2 and Mr. 4 discarding Sawblaze, which... Does that trigger Trick Reversal? That should trigger Trick Reversal, I believe. Unless that's not how the ruling works. Or maybe Butter didn't notice. I think that should have triggered Trick Reversal, but I could be wrong. We're just going to get Mr. 2 out at Yuba. So once again, this is set up to where he can get Utopia. He has Mr. 2 in hand, so if he can move here and potentially with his ability Miss Valentine's there, draw a card into Utopia, or he has it in hand, he can open up Catacombs this turn. We're going to see that Doc is going over to Yuki's house, and it was There's a Strange Room, which kept Yuki at Yuki's house. Then we're going to see a fake defeat here. Doc wants to know what these next 3 cards are and get some movement going. He's going to be able to kill Reisky this turn. He got some really good early momentum on Yuki's strength loss, so he does really want to push that advantage right now to try and get Yuki as close to 0 as he can before Dragonfly opens up his top fate. Now, we could see a fate Hinata, and I think there's a dead end in here. There are some cards in here. Ooh, another decoy trap to try and get Ian Marco out of there. Hi, Koji. I'm in the middle of something, buddy. I'm commentating a game. He really wants my attention for some reason. He's so needy today. Looks like we are going for the Utopia this turn. Does he have... The fact that he isn't immediately playing Mr. 4, whichever one it is, and playing Utopia makes me think he didn't get the draw. Nah, he's throwing down Desert Girasole, triggering Trick Reversal, which I think should have triggered like a turn earlier, but probably not a big deal. Yeah, I'm going to take back a Protect You, obviously, to try and set up a bigger Strength Loss turn. Oh, Desert Girasole is really funny in this matchup, actually, because it will trigger Yuki moving via the Diary card will trigger... Not another play card there, interesting. So this will trigger Desert Girasole, because that's how it works. Is that... Let's move to the right, not move to the left. I think Doc misread one of them. Or he put them back in the wrong order. Hello, Sanji. Getting moved over to Alubarna now. And that opens back up the gain 1 discard. Keigo is dead as heck this turn, down to just 1 strength. Oh no, I'm getting a call that might matter. Double Duplicitous here is awful. An awful pull. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a phone call that I just had to message Butter. I'm getting a phone call that I have to take, so we're going to take a quick pause, and we will be right back in just a minute, everyone. Okay, we are back. Thankfully, it was nothing major, but I just did need to respond to a family member quickly there. But we're back in the game, and now we're going to see a gas trap thrown to Yuki's house, so I have a feeling that Yuki will be staying there. I hope Doc remembered that one right. And then the clash with Keigo. And then we're over to Yuba, gets the draw at Yuba. And then gets Mr. 4 out, so we are set and primed for a Project Utopia here. Discarding contingency plan, that's not great for Croc having to get rid of that now, when so close to opening up the top fate. We're going to see John and Hinata. This is definitely a Hinata play. Doc set out a gas trap that he can't do anything about stopping without Parent Skulls, and he knows what these next 2 cards are, I think. Yeah, so we get rid of that. And now Hinata's on the board to potentially trigger that again. And so then we're back over to Doc. Now, I know Doc, and knowing Doc, he only thought about the cards that he saw, and he's not thinking about what the odds are for what's going to come out in this poll here. And it is going to be Yuki moving to school. Gas Trap still goes off, so he's probably going to get to kill Ian Marco here. Just has to play one of the attachable items. Even Crossbow will work, because an item has been discarded this turn. Or not an item, a trap has been discarded this turn. I didn't see. I think they were looking at a discard pile over there briefly. Doc is thinking real hard about what he wants to play this turn. His turn did get a little messed up by that Hinata shuffle. I imagine if he was planning to go here with Ian Marco here, I mean, he might have also just been focusing on Yuki. Oh, he's not going for the Ian Marco kill. Maybe he doesn't have another item to throw out to get the kill anyway and is just going straight into Stalker. It's a little late to be going into Stalker, but Doc does still have a handful. Oh, we're going to see Protect You to activate Myrrh. Interesting. Okay, probably pulling out something like Katana or what have you, but because he's in Stalker, and I hope he remembers this, he's not going to be able to punch Iron Marco. He does remember. But he does get to drop to 6, which is nice. Iron Marco are 1 strength away from him because of Stalker. We're going to see the draw at Alubarna gain 3, and not Utopia, because he's paying power for Enraged. He's going to get Sanji out of here. So with one power, he'll pay 1 for Hidden Blade, and then get 1 back from Enraged, so he still ends at 1 here. And now, once again, he has a fully open board. He can kill any hero played to the other 2 locations, unless it's Luffy, because Luffy is the only one that would be above 4 strength. The thing that Dragonfly really does not want to see here is Karoo, which is what Doc really wants to see here. Karoo would stop Crocodile for probably 2 more turns from being able to... Oh, he's changing his mind, actually. Deciding not to do the Clash. Instead, he's going to Scorpion Venom to weaken down Sanji. Okay. I mean, I thought that was a pretty good setup. It was just Luffy or the Duck that would have stopped a potential Utopia coming about. There's the Someone's After Me. That's going to move Yuki back. That Hinata, worth its weight in gold, really has slowed down Doc because he knew what those other 2 cards were, and so now he's getting very little progress on Yuki. He does, however, have Stalker out, as we can see, getting some power back with no interference, so he can really afford to boost out his remaining items. He still needs Crossbow and Katana. He doesn't need them, but he really wants them. And he can lose Stalker at any time, and then assuming Yuki doesn't discard the axe, he'll be strong enough to punch Iron Marco. And Hinata, for that matter. Discarding a Blade Trap here instead of trying to set it up to hit Hinata later is quite interesting. We are going to see the Fate, and this is going to have to be a symbol of friendship. I mean, you could Duplicitous Woman Sanji over to Yuba, which isn't bad. It doesn't stop a potential Utopia because he can just go to Rain Base to get it, but it means he won't get Utopia if he wants. And it does keep Sanji from getting the -1. Honestly, the more I think about it, Duplicitous Sanji to the left might be worth it, because especially if Dragonfly doesn't have the Utopia or doesn't draw it off of moving to Rain Base, then he won't be able to... He still won't be able to open, open Catacombs. It takes away the discard. If he doesn't have it, it takes longer to get it. I don't hate the symbol of friendship play, though. It means Sanji stays at 4. Did Discord? Was that a Discord noise? Hello? Why is streamer mode not on? That was my Discord, not your Discord. I'm sorry about that. Streamer mode, please do your job. All right, it should be good now, hopefully. We are going to see him moving over to Yuba, drawing 1, going for the Fate, Yamotsu and Tsubaki. Oh, he did end up playing. He had another Blade Trap. Okay, so he played the other one. I see. And that's why he discarded 1. I guess he really wanted to dig for something. Honestly, I would have kept that other Blade Trap. Yamotsu is dead as heck, bro. He's getting absolute... See, this is why you should have kept the other Blade Trap, because now this turn you could Blade Trap Yamotsu, go to Yuki's house, play the other Blade Trap to Hinata and maybe another card. We're going to see Golden Hook thrown down for Dragonfly's play a card. If he doesn't have a Utopia in hand, he should be discarding pretty hard here. Ooh, discarding Double Finger sucks, though. that hurts. Are those other 2 cards Sunday and Poneglyph? Is that why he's not discarding? We are going to see a Rock is here, and Stalker was lost. So it looks like with the Blade Trap moving to Yamotsu, Doc decided to just go straight to Yuno's house so that he can Blade Trap. He's at 3 strength now with Stalker gone. He can Blade Trap Clash with Yamotsu, and now he can just hard Clash with Hinata, and he's using Yukateru Diary to look at this top 1. I hate the way he does the search function to look at the... I use the search function when I have to look at like 3 or so cards off the top of a deck, but when it's just 1, I just pull the top 1 off and Shift-Alt it. When you do Shift-Alt, you can look at the bottom of the cards like this. When you're in spectator mode, the cards are upside down for some reason. I don't know why that is. But we're going to see a gas trap thrown there. So I have a feeling Yuki will be staying at school. I don't think we've seen All Clear, so it must be the card that plays him explicitly to school. This is going to be -3 strength on Yuki, it's going to get him down to 4 strength left because it's going to be Axe plus Gas Trap plus being at Yuki's location, assuming that Doc wants to make that play. I honestly would, because it gets him 2/3 of the way through Yuki. He's only got 4 more strength to go. And as I mentioned earlier, what Croc really needs in this matchup is to get a relatively... Croc always wants a relatively early Utopia, but some games he can afford to be a little later on it than others. This is one where... Whoops, I accidentally clicked something and that made the interact thing come up. Sorry about that. He did finally get the Utopia. I think he's been a little unlucky with Utopia timing. Does he? He's got to have Sunday. Yeah, okay, so immediate move on Sunday, and if Doc wants this -3 turn, he doesn't get to cover Catacombs. So this is actually a really big turn for Dragonfly. It's going to be a really big turn for both players. -3 on Yuki is basically the ideal. You can get -4 if he had Protect You out. But, you know, getting -4 is a big ask. You can technically get -5 if you set up 2 gas traps. You can get a lot. But 3 is the common one that, like, you can reasonably make happen that really gets you a bunch of progress. -3 on Yuki is about the best you can ask for outside of, like, ideal scenarios. So, we're going to see a selective memory here. Okay, what cards we shuffling back in? Axe, of course, for the item. Trick Reversal for the scheme. Protect You for the effect. All very good. I don't think Kamado has passed by yet, so there's no ally in here. But he is going to shuffle back in Stalker. Honestly, even if he doesn't really want Trick Reversal or Stalker, it's good just to get the extra draw, especially because he's at a discard location. He can really clean out his hand a good bit. We're going to see Happy End get discarded. No Interference. He's a little low on power to be passing up on No Interference, but I imagine the rest of his hand is better. Giving up 2 No Interferences. Okay. And that will be his turn. So now, this is a very obvious move to Catacombs. Does he have the Poneglyph? It looks like it. Yep, that's going to be the Poneglyph out, and Miss All Sunday moved. So that is Showdown next turn for Dragonfly. He moved very, very quickly after getting that Utopia out, which is very good. And we're going to see him covering the top fate with Aru just for the sake of it. You probably play this with Aru because you... Oh, well, actually, no, wait. What is in here? Let me think. Is it 2 double moves? I think there might be 2 double moves in here, actually. So yeah, if there are 2 double moves, I don't remember exactly. 2 double moves, then not playing it and just discarding it is definitely the play, because now Yuki is very likely to go to Yuno's house. I want to say there's a double move left, and then... Now that we just saw the Mom Made a Futon, I think we've seen all of the unique movers, or the specific location movers, so it's got to be a right or a left move. I can't remember if it's a right or a left move, but I think it's... It might even be 3 double moves. I don't think it is, but it might be. But we've seen all clear, and with Mom Made a Futon there, we've seen all of the ones that go to specific locations, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going to be a double move. I think there's an I'm Surrounded in here. Maybe even both of these are I'm Surrounded, and then there's a either a move right or a move left. Doc really wants the next one, if that's the case, he wants the next one to be move right, and then a move left would be ideal for him. He's going to play Protect You, and I assume he looked at that top card with Yuki Teru Diary. Oh no, is he actually going to use Myrrh? Oh, I think he's going to use Myrrh instead of the Protect You, so he must... Maybe these are both double moves left, so he doesn't need to know the top anymore, because no matter what, it's going to be moving him to school. That could definitely be the case. It's a little unfortunate for Doc, because it means he has to go to school and then Yuno's house the next 2 turns, but on the other hand, he knows for sure what these 2 cards are. He doesn't have to take any 50-50 guesses. I gotta start writing down every Yuno card I see when commentating Yuno games. Because if I could look in the discard pile, I'd be able to tell, but I can't. Alright, so got the duck here. Man, there's not really a good place for this. You could put the duck at Rain Base and play Vivi there. One of them dies to Mr. 4, the other one gets clashed, but there's no power there, so it messes up Hidden Blade. As a result, because Dragonfly really, with Yuki at only 4 strength left, I think Dragonfly really wants to go to Rain Base and get into Showdown. He's got a good amount of allies out. Symbol of Friendship is out, but Sanji's already at -1. So he does really want to get into Showdown. This will make a very bad Showdown turn for him. He'll have to put Hidden Blade back into his hand to kill both of them, and it means he won't get the gain 2. I doubt he's going to be able to play, and we are going to see Mr. 4 just kill Vivi here, unsurprisingly. And that'll be the end of Doc's turn. And Dragonfly is going to go get into Showdown via Rain Base, which I think is the right call. Mr. 2 is going to be a 3-strength hero for the potential of getting rid of Symbol, and it is going to be the kill on the Duck, as expected. But now he gets the +1 Poneglyph power. I think this is looking good, especially because Aru is holding down this top fate. It is a double move. I think this is looking good for Crocodile, but man, it's going to be really close because Yuki we know what this card is. I think it's a double move or it's a right or left. I'm not sure which, but the players know what this card is, undoubtedly. But at the same time, I bet Dragonfly, is there a way that he could win this turn? I don't think he can. If he goes to Alubarna and does some shenanigans with Mr. 1, no, I don't think he's going to have enough strength to punch Sunday. We're going to see the axe thrown down, and then Doc knows what this card is. So wherever Yuki is moving with axe, Doc will be able to get into Showdown. If the card moves him to Abandoned Hotel, then I think Dragonfly needs to Fate. If the card moves him to Yuki's house, Dragonfly might be able to afford trying to go to, like, Alubarna and trying to, like, kill Sanji somehow and punch and, like, set up killing all Sunday via throwing. I don't think we've seen Mr. 1. I don't know if he was discarded earlier and I missed it. But if he's got Mr. 1, presumably, ready to set up on the all Sunday kill. So if he can set up a Miss All Sunday kill and kill Sanji or weaken Sanji. Unfortunately, he did lose Double Finger earlier, so without Double Finger, he's really lacking a kill. I don't think we've seen Golden Week either. The thing is he has Valentine here, actually, so if he can set up a kill on Miss All Sunday using Mr. 1 and, like, play another ally into... I don't think we've seen Mr. 5. Play an ally into All Sunday, kill them both with Mr. 1 plus the other, like, a 2-strengther, because Miss All Sunday's a 6-strengther. Sanji is at 4 with Symbol, so then you could just move Valentine into Sanji with the Catacombs move and get the kill. I think Dragonfly is trying to work out if that's possible right now. He does get to draw a card when he moves to Alubarna if he does go there, or Yuba for that matter. Doc is checking what his discard pile is. I think Manene is in here. So Manene's another 4-strengther, and Doc is going to lose Axe to kill Yuki. So that means Doc will only have 2 strength, probably 3 strength. We'll probably see him throw out Katana when he goes to get the kill on Yuki, wherever Yuki is going. He is going to Alubarna. The fact that he's going to Alubarna here, I think, means he has a way to get the kill, or he at least had a really good chance of getting the kill if he happened to draw into something here. Oh, is he discarding to get rid of Symbol? Well, if he discards to get rid of Symbol, then he can Hidden Blade Clash Sanji here. The problem is that he's not going to be able to kill Miss All Sunday. He's gonna be enraged, actually, to kill Sanji here. So a lot of power, but I'm not sure that he can get the kill next turn, which is a little worrisome because I assume Doc is hitting Showdown here. But is Doc getting Showdown at Abandoned Hotel? Because I don't remember if this is a move left or a move right, or it could be a double move still. I think no matter what, I think if Doc doesn't take the opportunity to get into Showdown here, he probably loses. I don't know. It's a really tough pick. If he has to go... Oh, is he looking? He's looking in the discard pile right now to figure out what's in hand. I don't think that Miss All Sunday can die here immediately, because I don't think that Dragonfly can get a Vanquish action while putting Mr. 1 at Miss All Sunday, and he'd need Mr. 1 to be at Miss All Sunday to get the kill, because he doesn't have Miss Merry Christmas in position for it, and he can't get access to this top move. So I think Doc has one more turn. Oh, you gotta do your diary deck first, bro. It was another I'm Surrounded. That's crazy. It was another double move. So Doc is gonna go for the Fate. I don't hate that. I don't know what his hand is. If he could have maybe tried to, nah, he wouldn't have been able to get a kill on Aru. And we saw Luffy shuffled in back there, I think, and then Zoro is just gonna kill that. Hurts to put Zoro there, though, because he's going to get the -1, so a Desert Spada kills him here, which is a little worrisome. I honestly wonder if I might have covered Rain Base to take away the double play there. because the problem, and there's Katana as expected, because the problem now is that if he has a Desert Spada, which I don't remember if we've seen many of those go in the discard, he can kill Zoro, and then he's got the double play Vanquish the following turn, which is really good for him. Also, Golden Week is still sitting around somewhere, so we could see like a Golden Week to Sunday to move out of the top fate, or even move Sunday to Yuba while taking the fate at Yuba. Is going here, so I imagine we're going to be seeing... Oh, is this a golden hook into Hidden Blade from hand play? Very interesting. And then a Mr. Wonder. Oh my goodness, that's a crazy play. That goes wild. That probably cinches the game right there, because now he loses one to Hidden Blade and gains one, so now he can easily punch Zoro. What a great play there. Really good stuff. And yep, Katana, you have to here at this point. It's going to move Yuki one to the right. Unfortunately, didn't get him to Abandoned Hotel in the reshuffle. There were 4 cards, I think, that could have gotten him to Abandoned Hotel. The one that says Abandoned Hotel, and then the 3 move lefts. I think Doc kind of needed that. He's going to fake defeat so he can try and figure out exactly where Yuki's going to end up here. Whew, man, but I'm going to be honest. Even if Luffy drops here, we still haven't seen Mr. 1. So it's going to be a really easy play Luffy into Mr. 1 kind of board state. Or play Mr. 1 into Luffy, I mean. I forgot we hadn't seen Mr. 3 yet. It's so hard remembering which card is which Mr. I always think that Mr. 4 is Mr. 3 for some reason, even though this idiot candle dude has a 3 on his head. Oh, and not pulling a hero here is insane. That's probably game unless Mr. 1 is one of these 2 cards here. I think you have to play Water Weakness to stop any kind of clash, but if we know he doesn't have Double Finger, but if he has any sort of... Golden Week plus another ally, because I don't think we've seen Golden Week, or Mr. 5 can also do it. Go to Alubarna, play Golden Week, move him into Mr. 3, then play Mr. 5. He's going to Alubarna, so I assume he has it. Oh, he just has Desert Spada to get rid of it, and then Clash of the End Eternity did still have a Desert Spada. Really didn't draw Mr. 1 until the very bottom, and 2 Utopias at the very bottom, too. Yeah, I do think that that was a little bit of an unlucky Croc game. He got lucky at the no Luffy there at the very end. But Yuno can really struggle, especially early game, to exert a lot of fate pressure, because it's very easy to keep her top fate locked between Yuki moving and just all of the, like, 3, 4, and Keigo being 8-strength heroes, and all really covers up that top fate, and it gives Crocodile a lot of time. So even though Dragonfly drew his Utopias late, once he got them, he was really able to push the pressure. I think what Doc might have been able to do better there is he probably should have focused a little bit more... a little bit less on progress on Yuki, and instead focused more on getting, oh, why can't I say it? Focused more on setting up his board, setting up like a control console, getting his items sooner, because he had Mur pretty early, getting his items earlier, and uncovering his top fate so he could exert more fate pressure on Crocodile. But he did also have those couple of really good early Yuki turns where Yuki just went to his location and he got to lower his strength. So I also understand being like, well, I'm already like at -3 on Yuki, like 3 turns in. I can probably just outspeed him. And yeah, so I feel like maybe matchup-wise it might have been better for Doc if he had tried that way instead. But also I don't hate that he went for the rush, and then it unfortunately just went more in Crocodile's favor, unfortunately for Doc. But really well played Crocodile by Dragonfly. It's nice to see a Crocodile win. We're going to see the Ainz and the Sebastian ban here, and then Dragonfly is going to pick Griffith. Griffith is, I think Griffith is fairly difficult to do whatever it is I'm thinking of, to counterpick, and we're going to see Doc playing Diaboromon, which means I get a Diaboromon thumbnail, because we already did a Yuno thumbnail. Let's go, Doc. Diaboromon going first into Griffith. I think this is pretty Diaboromon favored. I think Diaboromon is probably a pretty good counter into Griffith, because especially when Diaboromon is the counter pick, so he gets to go first, you get to use that top fate gain 1 off the bat. You can get some immediate fate pressure on Griffith, and Griffith really enjoys getting to make use of early fate pressure when his strength is still high before he starts throwing out challenges, but Diaboromon doesn't care because he's used to fate pressure. What Diaboromon doesn't like is mid-game fate pressure where you can stall him in the Infamon. We're going to see Infamon shuffled in here via Kuramon to draw 3. Yeah, what Diaboromon doesn't like is mid-game fate pressure when you can stop him from getting power as Karamon or from getting out of the Infamon form and into Diaboromon. A lot of discards here. This is actually a really good opening hand for Diaboromon to get a lot of stuff he doesn't want to draw early out of here. This is going to be a Pippin play. Honestly, I might put this on Tower of Rebirth. Yeah, I was about to say, I would probably put Pippin on Tower of Rebirth here because you really don't mind being fated. Like, Diaboromon really just does not care all that much. I mean, it's nice to keep his, if he can get his top fate for his second turn early, that would be really good for him, but he doesn't really have to worry about it. And we're going to see that Dragonfly wants to get back this Tower of Rebirth. He wants to try to get at least a couple of turns of using that gain 3, so he's going to go straight for the clash with Pippin and throw out Demon Horde. And Doc is actually going to go straight to Apartments here. Does he maybe have Sumimon, or is he just fishing for Sumemon, hoping he can play him? Or maybe he just has some good stuff to play, so he doesn't want to go to Internet? I would probably try and keep the early fate pressure on Griffith here, if I were Doc, to be honest. Especially because odds are that if Griffith fates next turn, which he probably will, and gets someone on top of Tokyo Bay, then you have Internet open. What he could be doing here actually is maybe he's trying to set up, maybe he has Cable Crusher in hand, and so he's getting enough power to have Cable Crusher. You could have done that from Internet while playing basic data, though. The only thing that stops the Cable Crush here is Imperial Dramon, either playing Imperial Dramon or getting Paladin mode, which he did get, so that's a little unfortunate for Doc. He loses 2 power here. But he can get back to 2 power if he has a 0-cost card to play. And we are seeing Tempted out immediately, so Dragonfly shouldn't have that card. Tempted out immediately. Very annoying one to have early for Griffith. We're going to see another basic data played out and a 2 power, so we could see the Imperial Dramon move here potentially. Casca when he's already at -1, that's a great get. I would still put this at Tower of Rebirth. You really don't care about that fate pressure is Diaboromon here. The main thing for Doc right now is he needs to get Sumemon pretty quickly. He's already down to only 13 cards in the deck. He's done really good at quick discarding, so that second turn going there. Hi, Koji. You're back to being right at my feet, wanting my attention for some reason. Data overload and deletion. This is a bad pull for Dragonfly. I would probably data overload to Military Network, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've seen a single Cable Crusher go by. The odds are high that a Cable Crusher is here. You don't want to just give it to him at Imperial Dramon. You probably force the Military Network because that's the worst possible turn for him. And then, no, he is going to put him in Tokyo Bay. I don't know about that. That might have been the turn that Doc was going to take anyway. Because a Cable Crusher and then just throw Imperial Dramon at Military Network is great for Doc here. Yeah, I would have forced him to take the Military Network turn, to be honest. It was a bad fate for Dragonfly either way. We're going to see the Cable Crusher and then the Gain one, and then we'll see Corcus and Demise. I don't dislike throwing out Corcus here. Force him to go to Battlefield and have a pretty lame turn punching Corcus. He can't play a challenge that lowers his strength. There are 3 challenges he can't play if he goes to Battlefield and wants to kill Corcus. But honestly, a Demise, I don't hate a Demise here. There are 5 challenges. It is only 3 cards, though, is the problem. He's put a fake card in his hand to make sure that he doesn't draw 4 when he shouldn't, which I respect. I do that all the time. I think I'd probably take Corcus here because odds are pretty good he doesn't have a challenge, but I do not hate the Demise of a Dream because if you hit a challenge, it's incredible. Hitting Slan is also not bad. Getting a Slan hit there is not bad at all. Obviously, a challenge would have been way better, but the second best thing to hit after a challenge is either Slan or Void. So we're going to see some more discarding. It's pretty easy for Griffith to gain power until the mid to late game, so discarding the countdowns I think is a good call. Doc really needs to get Sumamon or Digivolution soon. He really needs to get one or the other soon. Koji is like trying to get up in my lap. Koji is my dog. He's like 8 or 9 years old. I think you're 9 years old now, aren't you? He is such a precious Shiba Inu. He's a Doge. And he's so good, but sometimes he gets especially needy. It's rare, like maybe once a month. He just gets really needy for some reason. I know he doesn't need to eat or go outside because I did that right before I fed him and let him out right before stream, or not stream, before this video. But he's still being him. Oh, and we're actually going to see the Dragonfly is not going to cover Tokyo Bay here. Honestly, that's fair because unless he gets hit with a rescue, he's basically guaranteed to get a marsh turn to then go cover Tokyo Bay. High odds of getting a hero in this setup. We're going to see Doc throwing down a special data. Still doesn't have Sumemon, which is, he's had a really good start here, but not having Sumemon for this long is really going to start giving him some problems. We are going to see Guts go to Battlefield to fully lock that down. So now that top fate is only accessible via Brand. Which, this is a pretty good time to get that, especially since it's Guts. It's a pretty good time to cover that, and we're going to see him going straight for another fate so he can cover Tokyo here. Good call. But it's a pretty good time to get Battlefield locked down. For Doc, Griffith still has 4 more strength to lose. He's getting the My Castle out. 4 more challenges to play. And Doc, presumably, if he gets Sumemon soon, he'll be able to play Caramon ASAP. So he's gonna want to lower fate pressure pretty quickly here. The Caramon and Inframon phase is when Diaboromon wants to get fated the least. And he is gonna get a -1 on both of those from My Castle. I'm having to pet my dog nonstop. Koji, why are you being so needy right now? Doc is debating what play he wants to take here. He's going to shuffle back in Caramon. Really wants to see Sumemon or Digivolution here. And he did get Sumemon. That's good. And he can use Sumemon's ability here if he didn't draw back into Caramon to try and get him here. I would take that. Putting in... He doesn't have to show us these cards he's shuffling in, I don't think. But it doesn't really matter. He's going to draw 2, and that'll be his turn. He's got 5 cards in hand. He could have a Cable Crusher. He could open up Tokyo Bay again to get a little extra fate pressure. I imagine we're going to see... Man, this is a bad turn, though, going to Tower of Rebirth, maybe playing a 1-cost card and discarding, and then punching Casca. Honestly, with Casca already at -2, I think you probably just accept that Casca is there for the game. Oh, he's going to gain 2 and end his turn. Well, if you were going to do that, I might have gone and punched Casca. No, you got rid of that fake card that he was using to keep his hand. Yeah, early Tempted can really screw with you. I hate Tempted. That's my least favorite Griffith challenge. I'd rather have any other one. So we're going to see going to Internet here, and he's playing Catastrophe Cannon to go ahead and do a gain 2 with Imperial Dramon, and then play a card to get Caramon out. Doesn't have Control Orb, so he is probably going to have to pay a 3-cost tax to get Control Orb out at some point, because he's going to want that. Sanity Slipping and Camaraderie, you probably just go ahead and throw Camaraderie on Guts. I mean, you can throw it on Casca. There's not much point in putting it on Casca. You don't get a lot out of putting on Guts. The main thing here of putting Camaraderie down is that it stops it from being in the shuffle so you can get heroes easier. We're going to see Omnimon and Destined Bond. You probably just want to put Omnimon on Tokyo Bay. You could put him in Internet, honestly. You could put him in Internet to take away the gain 1 there. He's actually going to Destined Bond Imperial Dramon, which is interesting. Because, I mean... Oh, he's changing his mind? He is going to play Omnimon to Internet. He heard me. Playing it to Internet isn't bad. I could also see playing it to Tokyo Bay. We are going to see an alone play here, so that's the second challenge. 3 more challenges for Griffith to go. Griffith really forgot to tick down his thing, but they'll get it eventually. Giving up the basic data here instead of... oh, did he... No, he's putting back in a Catastrophe Cannon is why he can use that to gain 3. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the normal gain 3. Are we going to see the paying full for Control Orb here so you can get some more hand movement going? Or are we maybe just going to see... I mean, throwing down a premium data here would be really good unless he has Brand, which he might. I don't think we've seen one yet. Unless he has Brand and he wants his turn to be Brand. It is going to be the Control Orb play. A premium data and Internet would have gone really hard here, though. But going ahead and getting Control Orb out, and that lets him immediately make use of it. He's going to move this basic. I would have moved the basic data over to the left, to be honest, in case a deletion happens. So that way you're guaranteed to gain 3 here, but moving it to apartments that's fine. I'm kind of surprised Doc didn't have another card play to do with special data. Maybe he has a multiplication, and he's planning on doing a multiplication to get another special data out? I'm not sure what his plan there is. We are going to see Dragonfly go over to Tower of Rebirth and do a Brand to do the big gain 3 and get an extra play card to play Void. Oh, do you have... now you play Betrayed and discard your hand. That is a very strong turn. Very strong turn. That deck needs to be shuffled. Loses a Brand there. You should have shuffled that before drawing. Maybe you did and I missed it, but it doesn't matter, really. I doubt it matters. Another basic data for another catastrophe. Doc wants to try and use catastrophes to get up all the power he needs. Or maybe get more play cards to get out cards quick for Infirmon. We're going to see him throw down another special data at Internet. Honestly, at this point, I would put it at Apartments. You're planning on using it. He's going to play it there and then discard a basic to move it. He's going to discard a premium, actually. He doesn't want to pay for premium right now. I would have... you just saw a brand go? I would have kept that premium to play at my Apartments turn to play it to Internet. I think we are about to see Kabuterimon, though. Honestly, here, I might just discard Void with Sanity Slipping. You could also rescued... No, you don't really mind if he goes to Marsh, because if he goes to Marsh, then he's not playing a challenge, so you don't really want to rescue Demarsh, even if it means a hero comes out. I would probably just Sanity Void here. I would just get Void out of there. Because even though Void is only on play, he's going to get rid of the Demon Horde instead, which I don't hate necessarily, but I don't really like it either. It takes so much power to play Void that with the reshuffle for Void so far away, I wouldn't have really minded doing it. He could Vivid Nightmares Void back in, but I don't think that's a very good Vivid Nightmares target, to be honest. Yeah, especially because he has Slan he wants to put back in anyway. So we're going to see Slan, and then I would assume probably another challenge that he doesn't mind playing. Because I think one of these is a... Is this a Demise, or have we already passed both Demises? I'm not sure. It's going to be Tempted. Ugh, Tempted. I hate that challenge. So those both go back in. Not getting rid of Alone this turn. It would cost him Void. And then we're going to see a Cable Crush from Doc. I don't know about this. I think Doc is focusing a bit too much on Fate Pressure right now instead of getting to Infirmon. He really needs to get to Infirmon quick and then open back up his Fate Pressure before Griffith can start murdering people effectively. Because getting another hero out right here doesn't really do a lot. I guess Rickard actually would be really good here if Rickard is an option. Rickard here would be really strong because he could put him at 0 power. He's going to check and see if he wants to multi. I don't think you multi here. Casca and Guts are both out. You full Fate. I think there's a Camaraderie still in there. Pippin and I think Corcus are both in the discard pile, so... I would full Fate here. Yeah. Rickard. I think Rickard over Jadot. Put him at 0 power right now. 0 power right now is really good. I'd probably take away the gain 1 and discard. Yeah, just make Marsh awful. So now Dragonfly is in this position where he kind of has to like bounce between Marsh and Mercenary Camp, like gaining 2 at Mercenary Camp, playing out the challenge, and then Marsh to put Fate Pressure on. Not a bad Fate. But Doc, he really needs to get out of Caramon soon because he doesn't have a lot of cards out. He's going to have to eat at least 2 more of these datas to afford Infirmon. So he really needs to get into Infirmon and start boosting out cards quickly. What are we going to see from Dragonfly here? He's going to go over here. Does he have brands? Is this going to be a brand turn? It's going to be an Idea of Evil's Will on Casca, keeping her very low so he can kill her quick going into the last phase of the game. He is going to go to Internet next. Doc is. He's going to gain 3 with the special data, and then he gets 2 player cards as a result. He's going to get another special data out. He's actually going to put it over at Internet? No, you're definitely... No, actually, I would. I think Kabuterimon is in here, so I probably would throw it at Tokyo Bay, because then if Dragonfly pulls Kabuterimon, he has to cover Tokyo Bay. He can't just eat a Fate for the sake of, like, blocking some abilities. Double Demise, that's very interesting. It is going to get Guilty, though. A little unfortunate to pull the other Demise immediately there for Doc, but he hit a challenge, which is really good, and Guilty is an annoying one as well that Dragonfly cannot afford to get rid of anytime soon. So that's overall pretty good for him. Also, if Dragonfly wants to Fate here this turn to cover Tokyo, he's not doing much else. He's going to do a Demonic, draw 4, discard 4. I'd say with 2 more challenges to go and a challenge having just been played by Doc, Doc did get 1 Demise play. Unfortunately, Doc can't snag another one. But overall, I'd say this is looking pretty decently in Doc's favor. It really comes down to how quickly he can get into Infirmon now, because with Dragonfly having 2 more challenge plays to go, Doc, oh, he had to discard Slan here and another Demon Horde. That really sucks. But Doc really has to put... See, this is why I would put the special data at Tokyo, because then you kind of force the... he's actually going to do Destined Bond on Imperial Dramon, which is interesting. It does cover Tokyo Bay. All right, well, go gain 6 and play 2 cards, Doc. Is going to be the special. He gains 3 off of it, and then he gets to play a card. It's going to be Catastrophe, gain 3 with Catastrophe, or net gain 2 because he spends 1 for it. Now he's got his normal play a card and his gain 3, so he's up to 13. I think he does have another Catastrophe Cannon either in hand or he's about to draw it. He's going to reshuffle here, so he should also have Infirmon in hand, ready to play at Internet next turn. The big problem here, though, again, is that Doc has, like, nothing on board. I think what he's going to really need to try to do is try to set up a... Oh, is he deciding not to do the Catastrophe Cannon turn? What is happening here? I think he should be at 8 right now if he doesn't play Catastrophe Cannon, shouldn't he? He's playing another Catastrophe Cannon. I'm slightly lost on what is happening in this turn right now because of how Doc is trying to walk it back, but I assume Butter has everything on the up and up. He's at 13 power, and I think he has a player card. I think is what we're at. Did he just go back to what he did originally? Or no, did he use 2 catastrophes? I'm kind of lost. He's going to throw down a premium. This premium would get him into... Infirmon with a lot of power. And if Dragonfly wants to try and do anything about it, he has to go take a brand turn, which he either... I don't think he has a brand, actually. Did he pass them all already? But even if he did, he's choosing not to. He's going to get an Ubik play into a challenge, which is going to be abandoned, which he can put Casca up to 7 strength to get rid of, but then Casca becomes a problem. He does have another Demon Horde, so probably kill... I mean, honestly, with the reshuffle here... Really far away from having 4 power, but I would probably kill Void here. Void and the Demon Horde, and then, like, move Ubik into Guts, maybe. Or even move Ubik into Rickert, so that if you get a -1 on Rickert or get rid of Guilty, you could get a kill on him. But he is just going to keep Void, fair enough. And he is going to put Casca up to 7 to get rid of Abandon immediately. But he still has 1 more challenge to play. We're going to see a Vivid Nightmares just to gain 2 here because he wants to be able to play the last challenge. He doesn't want to play while he's at Marsh. It's going to delay getting into Showdown. That's a rough position to be in. We are going to see the premium data. So this is going to be gain 6 here. You gain 3 with the ability of Caramon, and then you gain 3 by using premium data to take the gain 3. And then you can spend 15, and he's still got 2 power left over going into Infirmon. He's only got 2 items out plus Control Orb, so technically 3 items, but his locational one. But only 2 on board, and unfortunately, special data is an internet, while basic data is in apartments. He'd really like these 2 datas to be swapped right now. We're going to see a discard with Control Orb on Digivolution to move over basic data. He doesn't really need Digivolution anytime soon. The problem with what he just did there, though, with Digivolution now is he has to get to a full reshuffle. Honestly, I'd probably Sanity Slip Void now that he's reshuffled. Get that 4 strength out of there. Yeah, I'd Sanity Slip Void here. If he goes to Marsh, he's kind of screwing himself out of it. No, don't get rid of the... I know that the Demon Hordes are about to turn on, Doc, but this is 4 strength of Void that he would have to Vivid Nightmares back in if he wants to use, which means it's not being used for power. That's... I'm gonna be talking to my boy about that later. He's not gonna take the Marsh turn here because he wants to be able to get into Showdown. Are you cable crushing here? I don't love cable crushing here instead of gaining powered apartments and playing out like a premium data, personally. Because you can't get... Like, what are you hoping for other than rescued here? He can't kill any of these heroes anytime soon. You don't need Fate Pressure right now because Griffith is for sure, at least, especially if he had killed Void, Griffith is for sure, like, at least 5 turns away from being able to win. Corcus probably to the top fate here. To see if you can try and get Corcus, Guts, and Pippin all on the top fate. Because Diaboromon doesn't want Fate Pressure right now. He wants to turn off the brands effectively so that he can get out of Infirmon. Griffith is the first into Showdown. Unsurprising, because when Diaboromon hits Showdown, the game normally ends shortly thereafter. We're going to see a Demonic Visitation, and Tempted is still out. Playing under Tempted in Showdown is really bad for Griffith because it can really slow down getting his strength back via challenges. Did he not pull a challenge right there with the Demonic Visitation? That's really unfortunate. This is Angemon and Angelwomon. It's both of the angels, actually. You want to put Angelwomon on the field here. You just put Angelwomon on the top fate. Because you want Angelwomon in play. I mean, I guess you can move the basic data. It doesn't really matter, though. I wouldn't move it to internet. I guess military network is the best option. There's no reason not to move it, I suppose. But it's not going to do anything. So now we're going to see Doc go over to internet. He's going to replay special data to play out a special data. Does he have a 0 cost in hand? He does. So he's going to play the basic data with the special data play, actually, and then you play a special data to apartments in case he draws into another basic data. Or he's going to catastrophe, actually. Gain 2, and then I would do a play card. Spend 1 and play out. Yeah, there you go. Very good. Very good. There are no 3 strengthers out. Why? Oh, okay, because he control orbed it. I see. I was like, why is he putting it in military? Jado on Corcus. You want to make the stack at the top fate here. This is the optimal thing to do. Now if he gets Pippin there, it's like it's over. If he gets Pippin on there before Jado or Corcus die, which I highly doubt that they'll get. The only thing that could kill them maybe is Void being there. Okay, Slan into that. Yeah, that's a good play. I honestly, oh man. My castle here is really rough for Doc. It depends on what his hand is. If he can play stuff from his hand without gaining power this turn. He's not going to get to a gain 1 anytime soon unless he has Catastrophe Cannon, though. I might, if I had a card to play, I might go to Tokyo and play a basic, which he does. Does he have a Catastrophe Cannon? Oh, he's going to play Countdown. Are you not going to gain power this turn? He's going to discard Armageddon. He's not going to gain power. So I know what you're going for here, obviously, but the problem with this strategy is that, Doc, you need power to play datas and clones to get out of Infamon, and you already have 3 of your 4 basic datas out. So I understand what he's doing here, but like now he doesn't have any power gain next turn. So honestly, I probably would have just given him the My Castle here. Gonna see Empty to get some strength back. And then he's just gonna get rid of Tempted. Using Paladin mode for his hand thing. Because, like, does he have a card play here? Moving the basic data over. He needs 2 more cards out, and there's only 1 more basic data. He's going to try. Well, the thing is you can't play Catastrophe Cannon without gaining 3 now, Doc. So you've kind of you can't really do the Catastrophe Cannon play with this board state. Getting rid of Slan. Okay, but he did. You know what? That's fair. He got rid of Slan. So now the My Castle doesn't hurt as much. So that's worthwhile. So that did really work out in his favor in the end. I still don't know though. I feel like he's got Jado and Corcus here. He's going to be fine. I worry a little bit about that play just because of the amount of momentum he gave up for it. As a result, because he really just needs to get, if he gets into Diaboromon before Femto gets back to like 5 strength, then he's fine, or gets to 6 even, but 5 is what I'm thinking of. Then I think he's fine and good to go. Is he going to get a countdown here? A countdown here is huge. I think is that not countdown? Did he gain power? Did he do a brand there? I didn't notice. He must have branded. He's at 4 strength, or 4 power. He must have branded. So now he is going to give him the castle after getting the sanity slipping. That probably was for the best in the end. It makes that a lot weaker overall, but I think I care more about rushing here than I do slowing him being able to kill people. Taking the extra, he probably like gets out of Infamon 1, maybe 2 turns slower as a result of doing that, at the cost of probably saving Casca for 1 extra turn strength-wise, maybe? I'm not sure what the math is on that. It wasn't a bad play. It's not a bad play at all. I'm not sure that it's how I would have tackled it. Especially, was he guaranteed a sanity slipping, actually, on the turn he did that? If he didn't get a sanity slipping, he would have been in an awful position as a result. Griffith is already back up to 4 strength as well. See, Griffith has gotten strength back up so quickly. That's why I'm so worried about taking the time to try and play around Slan and all. And Void is still here, which sucks. But, because it's an easy way to get rid of Guts. But, Oh, we're actually going to see a Blood Soaked on... on Jadel. Okay. Didn't manage to get Pippin out quickly. Another thing is when he went for the Sanity Slipping, if he had pulled Pippin with it, it would have really sucked not to play Pippin. It worked out for him. I don't think it was a bad play. I'm just not sure it's the play I would have taken. I feel like I would have been too worried about too many things going wrong, but also my luck is probably worse than Doc's. We're going to see the Mass Clones discard a countdown and move over, so this will get him out of Infirmon. A rescue here would force a Brand to stop the Infirmon release. Oh, and he had another play card. We're also going to see multiplication. Is he going to stop data overload from being able to stop him? Yeah, get the basic data out. So now it has to be Destined Bond or Deletion. So there are 4 cards out of these 9, if I'm not mistaken, that can stop this. And he did get rescued. Honestly, I would take the rescued here, guarantee yourself into Diaboromon. It does give him the opportunity to get rid of Guilty, though. The other option is Kill Void. Kill Void here is pretty good still. Although he does have a lot of power, but he's got a little ways before he gets to a reshuffle. You'd have to use a Vivid Nightmares to get Void sooner. Not pulling Pippin here is pretty rough. That blood soaked in Pippin being so low has worked out really well for Dragonfly. I would probably rescued him to Marsh to guarantee myself into Diaboromon, because you can speedrun this really quickly. The thing I'm worried about, though, is that Void has been here so long. He's going to move Guts away from Void, which he has enough power to brand anyway, so I don't hate that, honestly. I still just wish he had killed Void earlier. So we could see a brand turn, but then if he does that, that's all he's doing, because Corcus is at 5 thanks to Guilty, so unless there's another challenge in hand as well, Dragonfly won't be able to clash Corcus. We could also see a Mercenary Camp just get rid of Guilty and play out some cards. But Doc, I think this is the best play for Doc doing the rescued play here. I do like the addition of moving Guts. I'm not sure I would have done it, but I do think that's a good also thing to pull here. But the thing that's really good for Doc here is that this deck shuffle is very volatile for getting out of Infirmon. There are 2 Destined Bonds and 2 deletions, and there's a data overload if the deletions come early and mess stuff. I don't think data overload is going to stop him from getting into Showdown at this point. But there are 4 out of the 9 cards in here that can stop him, so getting rid of that really fast is making sure that he gets out of Infirmon and he doesn't get stuck in Infirmon for a while. Very, very useful. We are going to see another My Castle triple threat here, where the gain 3 is where Doc wants to go, and then Ubik being played here and Demon Horde moved over to get closer to killing Guts. This Casca is 6 strength, so either needs more strength loss or Femto shenanigans. Now, Doc could go punch War Greymon and gain some power and potentially kill Angelwamon with a either with his ability to Catastrophe or Catastrophe from hand. He is going to give the triple My Castle, which is a little risky right now. But honestly, I think he... You know what I just realized is Void could also kill Corcus now that Guilty is gone, so that's rough. But if I were Doc, I would definitely, with this board set and everything going on, I would be just getting as many kills as I can. I think that Diaboromon at this point, as long as you make sure you have the power to play Armageddon, which is he can't afford to do My Castle shenanigans this time. He has to get the power to play Armageddon ASAP. But if he can just get the power to play Armageddon, especially with Omnimon being at Internet, he needs to kill whatchamacallit very fast. Okay. Casca is now only at 5 strength. Catastrophe? Catastrophe to open up the top fate. That's really good. And then punch War Greymon. I'd also probably try and move this Mass Clone over to Metal Garurumon. He was checking his deck to see if he could use Diaboromon's ability for anything, but it looks like he can't. Yeah, and assuming his hand is really good. Well, he could also move this Mass Clone over to try and set up getting a kill at Tokyo Bay if a 4 strengther goes back there. Is also an option. Oh, but you know what I just remembered? I think Digivolution and Armageddon are both in the discard pile, so he really needs to use Control Orb just for the sake of getting to a reshuffle. He needs to get to a reshuffle so he can use his ability to Digivolution into Armageddon. He's going to be discarding a multiplication to move over a Mass Clones and then punch War Greymon. This is going to be a pretty close game. I think it's a little... He does have a brand here, which is really good for Dragonfly. He gets to move over that Demon Horde and do a Fate. No Brave Resolve targets. This is just a deletion. That's great for Doc. A near with Fate here is really good for him. Yeah, get rid of the clones. Cannon. That's what the card's supposed to do. Even though it normally targets premium data. This gives Doc a top Fate to try and get out someone like Pippin. He's going to go to Internet? Why would you go to Internet here? You go to Tokyo Bay. You can go to Internet next turn, bro. What is this? What's this turn? Is it because he's going to Catastrophe Metal Garurumon? This is the only reason I can think of for going here over Tokyo. I would go to Tokyo, play out an item or a mass clone, and then discard to make sure I reshuffle. Because you need to reshuffle. You can't. You have to reshuffle before you use Diabormon's ability. Just getting down to 0 cards won't let you use it. Yeah, so he's going to Tokyo. I think he heard me. He can hear me. He's listening, and he's got my room tapped. Chat. We're gonna see. You don't need Cable Crushers at this point. You have to rush objective, because Griffith is very close to being able to kill all of these people. Throwing out a special data. You don't want to spend too much power. Or he's throwing out a mass clone instead. I think that's better. And then I would probably move that mass clone over. And then he can keep that card in his hand, whatever it is. This will force a reshuffle, which will let him get to, whatchamacallit. Gaston and Demise. I would look in that discard pile and see if you think you could get a good Demise here. But honestly, your best option is probably just playing a hero, because it's one more thing the Dragonfly has to kill. And I'd put it at Battlefield, even though Void is there, just to force a brand to be able to use the top Fate, because you don't want him to be able to stall you out of getting to the win first. If he wants to Fate Doc this turn, unless he has a Vivid Nightmares in hand, and that'll be his play card, then that means Doc will be getting Countdown, which could be a big help getting a premium out. He's going to be Marshy. He's going to be Vivid. He's avoiding the Countdown, which is smart to do, but that also means he's not shuffling in stuff like Blood Soaked. It's the Angels again. They're both here. So not War Greymon is good to see here for Doc, but Angemon is going to spread these guys out. Putting Metal Garurumon at Internet is a misplay. Yeah, okay. Because then he just gets to Fate you and punch Metal Garurumon. The big thing right now is that Doc has to take, and that's going to kill Rickert, Doc has to take a turn to kill, or to gain 3 at Apartments to be able to play Armageddon. But honestly, if Doc plays Armageddon, if he goes here and plays Armageddon, he uses Armageddon's ability to kill Omnimon and clash Metal Garurumon, he's actually in, like, an insanely strong position. And he can guarantee get Armageddon in hand at Apartments by discarding just 1 basic data. Because then, if you discard a card to get Armageddon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... you'd have to discard 4. That'd leave you with only 2 items, which is a little risky, but it puts game on board, potentially, if you have the 2. Because then you can go to Military Network, kill Angemon with the 2 clones, and play 2 items. Or you could even go to Internet with the open Vanquish, just play an item, and gain a power in Fate. You can also go to Apartments and not use Armageddon's ability on Omnimon. You could wait until you go to Internet and clash him, just, like, not take the bet on getting the win. I don't think he is going to end up going to Internet this turn, which I don't love, because he's not getting in. I really think he needs to go to Apartments and get Armageddon out here. He's going to do Catastrophe just to gain a bunch. He wants more power. Not playing an item here and not getting Armageddon out, a little worrisome. He is going to do a special data play. So this will give him an extra play a card. He can't get Armageddon out. He could get Armageddon out of this with Catastrophe, but he's going to do Basic instead. No, he couldn't, because he has to Digivolution. He'd have to have Armageddon in hand to do it that way. But I assume we're seeing a Digivolution here for Armageddon. Oh, it's another Catastrophe to just kill Angemon. Interesting. And then shuffling it back in with Basic. We're going to see Pippin and Jadot. Probably just throw Pippin on Battlefield, give Gaston +1. You could put Pippin on Guts. I was thinking that that's a possibility. Protects Guts for another turn. The problem is that Guts dies to a double Demon Horde who don't get discarded in Showdown now, so. Oh, he's gonna try. Okay, so he was trying to set up going into Armageddon and killing Metal Garurumon with 2 clones in the same turn here, which, barring a brand, which I think might both be in the discard, is what's gonna happen. Or going to Tower of Rebirth to get a challenge and clash Casca. Yeah, because Casca is 5, and a challenge here will put Femto at 5. But this is also no power gain, so this is going to look at Doc. He's so excited for this countdown. It's so tasty. He can't wait. An extra item from countdown here could actually be the game decider for Doc. If he has... Actually, I think it means Doc wins if he has... I think Doc wins no matter what if he has a catastrophe. No, I think he's... Even if he plays a premium here, he's going to be short 1 power, maybe, for being able to do the catastrophe play at Military Network, because I don't think he can also get out... He played a special. What? Why would you ever play special over premium? Are they both in his hands? I'm... With Blood Soaked in the discard, can he win this turn? If Femto has a challenge and Idea of Evil's Will, he can win this turn, I think. Because he, like, goes here, he plays Idea of Evil's Will to vanquish Pippin. No, because then he loses Ubik. He can't... I don't think he can win this turn. So honestly, I don't think Doc needs to do this. I think Doc should have gone to Apartment and gotten into Armageddon. I think Doc is probably going to lose this because he keeps not getting into Armageddon, and it's going to cost him the game, unfortunately, for him. But he's had 2 opportunities to go to Apartments and get into Armageddon to be able to threaten game effectively, and he hasn't done it either time. Now, a Camaraderie here on Pippin will definitely buy him some more time, because that means Griffith has to get to 6 to be able to clash him. Could also put it on Guts, so that Guts is at it. Guts only needs 1 more ally then to die there, though. Oh, man, I'd be looking and seeing if there's a challenge you could pull with Demise. He is going to put it on Camaraderie. I don't like it. I don't like it because now he just for sure gets to clash Pippin. He didn't even check for, like, challenge shenanigans. He did have both premiums in hand. That's unfortunate. I really think that Doc might have thrown here specifically by not going to Apartments, playing Armageddon, and clashing Metal Garurumon. I think. We're going to see a basic data here, probably for the Digivolution. He's going to Catastrophe kill Metal Garurumon? That doesn't matter. Yeah, that was the only kill you had set up there. What is Doc doing? I got to teach Doc how to play in-game Diaboromon. It's always possible that I'm missing something. I haven't played much Diaboromon in a hot minute. We're going to see the Brave Resolve here, which is just going to put Metal Garurumon back at that Thought Fate. Or War Greymon. I don't know. Why did he waste power on Catastrophe canning Metal Garurumon when he had the Mass Clone set up to kill him next turn anyway? I'm going to have to ask him about that one. I think Doc did pretty well with Diaboromon in the early and mid game, but I think he's kind of flubbed this in game a little bit. Doc's a good friend of mine, so I don't mind just calling him out. Why would you put Metal Garurumon there? He just gets to Fate you and punch him. Yeah, okay. Now he gets to put the Mass Clones back to kill him over the course of 2 turns, but, like, whatever. The main thing is that Doc has screwed himself out of having enough power to play Armageddon. Because that's what's keeping him from closing the game right now, is he has to get to 5 power. I feel like he might have forgotten that. And he hasn't gotten any premium datas out this game to try and make use of. We're going to see a Ceaseless Torture here. This is going to be a Vanquish on Gaston to set up game. Because you can just punch Pippin anyway, because he doesn't have the thing on him. Yep. That Void been sitting there the whole game, waiting for this opportunity. And then you clash Pippin, and then that's game on board if he gets a challenge, a Ceaseless Torture. If he gets Idea of Evil's Will, there are many cards here that can just win Dragonfly the game. Yeah, being so slow at playing out Armageddon, I think, is what has killed Doc here, because he still isn't going to have enough power next turn. He's still not going to be able to get to 5. It's a very important choke point in Diaboromon's endgame, is making sure you have that 5 power. Double Sanity Slipping. Goodbye, Demon Horde. Well, now he has to have an ally as well. Oh, he had to have an ally anyway, actually, because this is a 6 strength Guts. Or strength loss. Does he have it? If he's going here, he has it, I assume. Idea of Evil's Will to lose 1. That puts Griffith, or puts him... Yep, that does it. And that is game. Good stuff from Dragonfly. Honestly, I really feel like this was kind of Doc's game to lose. I think if he had been a little more aggressive with getting Armageddon out on one of those, there were two different turns where he could have gone and gotten Armageddon out, where I think it was maybe mathematically impossible for Griffith to win, or very, very unlikely for Griffith to have game in hand. And instead, he went and like paid power on Catastrophe Cannon kills and Cable Crusher plays that stopped him from getting into his form where he could just clash Omnimon while at the bottom fate and really threaten game with Armageddon's ability. But well played from both players. That's going to be a 2-0 for Dragonfly. So let's go take ourselves a look at the bracket and see how it's shaken out. And so with that 2-0 victory, Dragonfly is our third competitor to make it into round 2 of this year's tournament arc. Sadly, my dear friend Doc is out this year. I'm going to be having some serious discussions with him about Diaboromon in games later on. But still, good stuff from both players. Congrats to Dragonfly for moving on. And we have 5 more games to go just to get through round 1, let alone all the games in round 2, semifinals, and so on. So, very exciting stuff. Hope you're all enjoying Tournament Arc and are looking forward to the next game, which will be here very soon. Until then, farewell.